What's going on, everybody? This is Breaking Back, and today I'm going to be making a box for my wife's classroom. That was the spaceship going by. We have a neighbor with an electric car, and it sounds like a spaceship. I think they got to make sure everybody knows that it's actually running and moving instead of just being silent, but I don't know. Sounds pretty funny. But anyways, I've got this fence picket. It was like 5 3/8 wide. I've got it down to 5 inches, and I cut it to a 30-inch length because I know I'm going to mess up a lot. But the length of the final box is going to be about 10 inches, and then the width we'll do like 5, or maybe I'll go 5 3/8 to make the lid easier to make. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. What I was trying to say. But as you can see, I went ahead and I put some super glue in all the exposed knots because I saw someone else do it once, so I'm just going to assume it works, and maybe it'll keep them from causing problems later down the road. But until this glue dries, I think I'm going to take a break. My wife just hit her first recess break, so chit chat with her while this stuff dries, and then we can go ahead and get our panels cut. All 4 walls, we'll do them at 45, so it's going to be a mitered box. And then once I have that box all assembled, glued together, squared off, I'll go ahead and figure out the piece I'm going to cut for the base, the bottom of it. And I've got an idea for the lid. I think it's going to look kind of like a treasure chest, but we'll see. I'll do that step last. I do have some hardware for like the corners to make it look like a treasure chest, or ornate at least, and a little latch for it, so we'll try and match the theme of those. But yeah, I'm gonna let this dry. All right, here's my box. I'm not very good with miters, as you can probably tell, but hopefully it's good enough. Unfortunately, and I do mean unfortunately, I have my infusion today, and so I got to get ready for that. My kids are getting picked up by one of their friends' parents who lives really close to the school, so my wife will finish before I do, because this one's 2 hours long. So she'll end up picking up the kids from their house once she gets off work. But yeah, I gotta go get ready for that, which means I can't work on this anymore today, and that also means this video is gonna come out tomorrow. As usual, off schedule, but that's on brand for me, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, I guess this is just gonna pick up tomorrow at the next step. I'll see you then. Wish me luck. Okay, it is day 2. Well, I mean, I started this box a long time ago, but this particular one is day 2 of me working on it. I'm feeling a little better today. I've already done some work off camera. This is my first time doing rabbits. I think that's what these are called. And I got this piece cut down to the correct dimensions, I believe. Not quite as wide as this, or not quite as, yeah, wide as this, or as long as these, but about a ½ inch each way, because these leave about a 1/4 inch. So if my math's correct, it should fit. That's a big if though. And so what I'm gonna do next is, I've got this piece, like I said, cut to fit, should fit. And now I just need to trim the edges and make the little, is that the rabbit part? I don't know, make the piece that goes into the slot. And I did that on a test piece right here, just to make sure I got a good enough fit. And it was about 2 blade lengths. I did 2 passes. You can actually kind of see it if it would focus. But I got it to where this is a pretty snug fit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as my little guide, because I've messed with the saw blade 100 times since. But I'm finally to the point where I can get these cut and get the box glued up with the bottom on it, and then I can start working on the lid, which is the part I kind of crapped out on last time. I think I said earlier in the video, this is a different day, so I did attempt making a box before when I had way less tools. I don't even think I had this table saw. And I kind of hit a wall because I'm not really happy with it. So I wanted to start over. Here's that box. It's collected a bunch of dust. There's all the black sawdust from my kitchen table. I like what I was doing, but I just had so many gaps. And I know I'm gonna have a lot of gaps with this. My miters are terrible. But this is practice. Everything is practice. But you can look down here. I didn't have my tabletop planer, sorry. So this board I used in particular was very warped and it made the glue up pretty dang hard. But I like what I did with the miters and the angles on the edges with some feet. But it's just, I don't know, look at that. It's depressing. I don't know. I'll definitely finish this, but it'll be something at home for the kids. I wanted something nicer for my wife's classroom. So that's what this is. So next step is to get this little lip cut all the way around this board and get it glued up. I think I already said that, so I'm just gonna get started. Little too high. All right, that should be good. We can take another pass if it's not, but it's certainly not going to be too much, which is all that matters. Well, there it is. The bottom of the box, at least. Obviously, it's not glued yet. I had a lot of cutting and recutting and refitting and test fitting, and well, I think I got it good enough to glue up. And I also dropped these a bunch of times, and here's my worst one, man. Took the corner right off. But I'm going with these pieces. Okay, I'm beat. I'm done for the day. It doesn't really show up in the camera, but I'm dripping sweat. It's 100 degrees in my garage right now, and there's gardeners going next door. So I'm gonna call it a day, and luckily my mom's still here tomorrow, so I'll have the whole day again to get some things done. And I hope you can hear me. If not, I'm gonna just edit over this and say it all again in the editing app. But either way, I just want to thank you all for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope it gets even better from here. See you next time.